Well, welcome back and thank you for staying with Newsline. We continue informing you about the latest developments. And right before the break, we took a look at what the law says and the process of removal of a deputy president. So now you're in the know in case that comes to the floor of the House. But remember, an impeachment is a political process. And that's why we have a politician in studio to take a look at the latest the latest matters arising from that particular talk around the impeachment of the deputy president. I'm joined by Peter Kihungi, who's the Kangema Member of Parliament. Karibu sana to our studios. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening.
Well, we are talking at a time when it's all to do with the political talk, and the political talk is centered right now on impeaching the deputy president. We don't know if it will be substantiated later on, but in case it is, it's proper to have this conversation. So looking at the tyranny of numbers in Parliament, it seems the numbers do not favor the deputy president's camp. But the challenge would be substantiating the claims, the grounds of removal for the deputy president. So from where you sit, are there grounds to impeach the deputy president, or this is simply an effort in futility?
Okay, thank you very much. I think it is very clear that the grounds are the gross misconduct and gross violation of the Constitution.
Yes.
And everybody, and mostly members of Parliament who have proposed this issue of impeachment are the one who carries the ground. But this thing has not come from the public, from the general public, whereby you can hear there is an outcry and a complete outcry, impeach this guy. Therefore, they hold it as their agenda. It's an agenda of a few members of Parliament, if not a few. If they are majority, they are the one who are holding the issue of impeachment. And therefore, if they are the one who holds it, because if maybe he had been prosecuted in court of law, he has been taken through a process outside the Parliament, and now the members pick from that, then we could have managed to follow on the how gross misconduct, because it's not clear even in the Constitution. It just said the gross misconduct, violation of the Constitution, but doesn't come clearly with explanation, a very clear explanation. Therefore, if maybe the deputy president did something that angered the general public, then maybe the general public took him to the court.
Okay.
Then, through that process, we could have managed to get the gross of the violations that he has done or the misconduct that he has done. But now, that thing has not come out clearly. Furthermore, let me tell you, most people are in panic. They don't believe it. They still believe this is just I was listening to other stations as people discuss it, because it's a discussion now to the public.
Yes.
And most of the public feel is a decoy because of the politics maybe of Adani and whatever. But somehow silently I've listened to Parliament and I feel as if there's an impeachment. But the only people who know about the impeachment are the members who are proposing it. The public doesn't have an idea. Furthermore, they are so confused.
So let's talk about what those members seem to be proposing and what they seem to be accusing the deputy president of. They say that he's undermined President Ruto's leadership and has caused divisions within the Kenya Kwanza administration. You're a member of Kenya Kwanza. So has the DP caused divisions within the Kenya Kwanza administration from where you sit?
Now, from where I sit, I don't see the division. Because as I stand here, the president is my president. If the president wants to come to Murang'a, he comes comfortably. There is no talk of people of Murang'a, where I come from, where maybe the division maybe has caused is between the people from maybe the area that he commands, mostly the Kikuyu area, the Kikuyu region, let's say about it.
Yes.
But recently the president walked around Murang'a, there was no violence, there was nothing. Because like the time of Kenyatta, if we could have taken the incidents whereby President Kenyatta was stoned, then you can take truly the deputy president or the vice president then has brought division that has made people maybe to be violent, and something physically possible you can be able to explain, there is a division. But the president the other day went around central Kenya, Murang'a, Orova, but there's no division. Any member of Parliament, there has not been any violence that a person went to the public and maybe was bashed, was stoned, there were riots.
Okay.
Kenya Kwanza is intact on the ground. It's only the normal division that has always been there between us leaders due to interest. And these interests mostly don't pay power jiko. They are interests that are personal. Therefore, the issue of division doesn't come anywhere. But,
so what do you think is the issue between the president and the deputy? Is it a personal issue? What exactly has caused the center not to hold any longer?
Let me tell you, I had said it somewhere.
Yeah.
That where there is power, I don't want to put the word that this use, but where there is power, there is a lot of competition for attention. And therefore, there are so many people who want the attention of the president. And that's what brings a lot of division between the center of power and the people around it. Therefore, there is no clear definition on the division between the president and the deputy. Okay. Because even the president has not come out clearly, even to the public, to say that the deputy has done this to me. It's only the competition between people who are trying to access power and prove they are more powerful in power. Let me tell you, they are reasoned. They are reasoned. But now comes in that for me, maybe to be able to operate in a within the power, I must remove maybe somebody.
Okay.
And that's how maybe some of the people who are very aggressive in the activity are trying to do.
So you think the DP is being targeted just
no,
for
the,
those
the
reasons?
DP, let me tell you, in clear terms, is being targeted in the public. Let me tell you, you being a personally from the public, the DP has not, there is no alteration between the president and the DP. Because what happens? There is also there's a version in the law that says, try to use all other means before you go to the issues like impeachment. Because let me tell you, there's nothing dangerous for the presidency to do, to open an impeachment for the presidency. Because the presidency is one. The president and the deputy are conjoined. We will start an impeachment for deputy president, but we will start an impeachment for the presidency. And it will be one of the worst things that can happen. Nobody can open an impeachment for the presidency because you don't know how it will go.
Okay, so it might be opening a can of worms and we don't know the political blowback thereafter. Let's talk about this censure motion that seems to be going to the floor of the Senate, because it's basically a motion intended to state that we are not happy with you, or a criticism or expression of disapproval of one's conduct. Of what consequence? You're a member of parliament, you're in a position to tell us, what exactly is this censure motion? What's the end game here, politically?
I think the censure motion that was brought by Mugatana. But that one, I found them together with the deputy president today. Even I went through it, it was not well thought.
So the word...
Yeah, because also he was not very clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was not very clear. But maybe what happens is that whenever there is an issue that maybe some of us politicians, that thing can make me popular, other than the works I can do on the ground, the projects I can do, or the deliveries I can deliver to my people, I can pick something that I may think is very popular to the general public. But then immediately I pick it, I realize the general public has nothing to do with it. Let me tell you, the impeachment of deputy president, even in the areas of opposition, is not a popular issue. Because they feel the government should be targeting on service delivery. Because Kenyans are suffering. Sure. We have come out in a very tough space whereby they started with the COVID. Then immediately after COVID, there were demonstrations after elections. Then after demonstration after election, the agencies came. Then after agencies, we agreed, let's bring everybody now together so that we can be able to run this government peacefully. Then we introduce impeachment. You see, nobody, you don't understand. But I'm trying to think, and those people who vote about impeachment, what do they have for Kenyans? These people don't think about Kenyans, let me tell you. They think about themselves, their comfort, and the access to their power, and to feel they are powerful. And nobody is maybe challenging or in between the power that they want to enjoy. But Kenyans are not in this impeachment. They are nowhere. They are nowhere, let me tell you. And Kenyans are not happy. And I think that's what happened to Mugatana. Mugatana tried it and realized that people from his constituent, that is his county, has nothing to do with it. And therefore, we withdrew it immediately. It was not even discussed. I saw them together today. Therefore, the issue of impeachment is not a priority for Kenyans for now at all. Those are small things that can be handled between ourselves, disagreements that can be handled between ourselves if we are humble and not proud. Because pride, that's what is driving us to excesses, to these excesses whereby I don't want to listen, we can't sit, we can't talk. And now we are putting our general public in a very tough space. Because this impeachment, I may tell you, it might bring other demonstrations. This impeachment might now turn maybe to the impeachment of the president himself. And the country will be ungovernable, let me tell you.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, it's proper to have this conversation. Peter Kihungi still joins us. He'll be coming back to studio at 10 p.m. at the top of the hour, where we'll continue evaluating some of these talks, the political talks around the impeachment of the deputy president, if they will be substantiated, to what political effect. And equally, it will be interesting to get his take on the matter around the NGCDF, because members of parliament seem to be defending it to the last man. So stay tuned for that conversation.